Hello, Rule Mithril here once again, and it's time to start up a new project. And welcome to Startropics, 1990 Nintendo. Startropics is an interesting bit of a game. It was a joint effort between the American and Japanese branches of Nintendo geared toward American audiences. And for a long time it would only see American audiences. A Japanese release was planned but never really followed up on. It wasn't until Virtual Console re-releases that other regions really started to see this game. And we are flown in by helicopter. And that's as much of an intro as you're getting, so let's get right into it. So much like Legend of Zelda, you have 3 save slots, and you have battery backup, so let's register a name. The protagonist's name is Mike Jones. He's a student, a native of Seattle, so close to the Nintendo headquarters in America. So, let's begin. Prelude. One day in summer, you land at Sea Island, where Dr. Jones has his laboratory. And so, welcome to the overworld. Here you can kind of poke around a little bit. Sometimes there are hidden passages that you can find. Here in the first chapter, though, there's not really anything special to look for. So really, we may as well just make our way to the town over there. Though we can look around a little bit and get a preview of later areas. Welcome to Coral Cola. Players of Animal Crossing New Horizons might recognize that name. It's apparently somewhere that Gulliver has been in his travels. Welcome to Sea Island. Aptly named, we saw what it looks like. Mike, you're an ace pitcher, I hear. Show me how to throw a fastball sometime. Well, alright. Oink, oink. It's a pig. I have to hurry. I'm gonna roast a pig for your welcome party. Well, that doesn't speak well of my friend I just made. Your uncle Dr. Jones is so nice. We call him Dr. J. Oh, last week I met Dr. J. He was very busy solving some strange puzzle. Good to know. I'm Miss Coral 1990. Do you think I'm pretty? Hard to tell at this resolution, but sure, I'll go with it. Have you met our chief yet? He's waiting for you. Mike, your uncle told me about you. I feel like we're old friends. Last night I gazed up at the Southern Cross. Suddenly I saw many shooting stars. Legends say shooting stars are omens of disaster. Oh me, oh my. I'm sure it's nothing. I heard you were coming. Want to go fishing? Where do you come from? Americola? Who are you? Stay away from here. Wow, and everyone was so friendly so far. I've been waiting for you. I'm Chief Coral Cola, and a good friend of your uncle. Listen, Mike, I have some bad news. Last night, try not to be too upset, but your uncle, Dr. Jones, has been abducted. We must keep this from the islanders so they don't panic. You're the best hope of rescuing Dr. Jones. I don't know what to do. Can you help? Sure. Good, you're brave. Take this island yo-yo. Apparently in the Virtual Console re-releases, this was instead dubbed the Island Star. A prevailing theory is that yo-yo was actually made a trademark in Canada, I think it was. You may think this yo-yo is just a toy, but it's very powerful. Mike, you're an ace pitcher. Use it. And we got a yo-yo. Mike, it looks peaceful around here, but in the dark below, many monsters have appeared these last few years. Don't let them get you. Mike, the fate of your uncle is in your hands. Find a tunnel in the village and hurry to Dr. J's laboratory. Alright, we have our task. And there's only one place we haven't been able to get into just yet. Oh, you're Dr. J's nephew. Here's the tunnel. Good luck. I always really liked this character design. I just think she looks cool. I'm the shaman and sister of the island chief. Your uncle was abducted because he found a secret in the lost ruins. I have great hope that you will succeed in rescuing Dr. Jones. Just like your North Star, island sailors look for the Southern Cross. Mike, many wild monsters await you in the dark below. But remember, the magic of the Southern Cross is always on your side. Now begin the test of island courage. Good luck! So the game automatically saves, and we're in the second playstyle of the game. You have the overworld, and then you have the actual adventure areas. Here you can move around, jump, and attack with the yo-yo. And we have our first enemy, jellies. These guys can't really do too much, just contact damage. And they're very weak. Defeating all enemies in a room will sometimes open the door for you. But not always. It's important to make note of these tiles and get used to jumping on them. Sometimes they will trigger things. Also notable, don't jump in the water. Mike is not known for his swimming ability. A one-tile gap like this, that's the furthest that Mike can clear under normal circumstances. Sometimes enemies will drop stars. Pick up 5 of those and you will recover 1 heart's worth of life. And we have a new enemy type up there, Radis. So stepping on that, it was a pressure plate, and we have a switch available now. And that just went ahead and opened the door for us. So you don't always have to defeat all the enemies in a room. The Radis, however, is very much in the way. And takes 2 hits to take out. The yo-yo doesn't have too much range, but enough. There we go. Honestly, one of the main reasons I really wanted Mike Jones to get into Smash. I really wanted a Smash remix of this song. For the most part, this first dungeon isn't really too hard. They're still kind of getting you used to the game at this point. So we have 2 different ways we can go here. And a new enemy type, Nocto. We have a skull room full of bats. Defeating all the Noctos opened the way back out. And the tiles are nothing. This is just a dead-end room. So how about this way? Another skull room full of bats. 2 dead-end skull rooms full of bats. You shouldn't have. So it begs the question, where do we go from here? We have another switch. And that opened the door for us. A lot of this game is trial and error with trying out the different floor tiles. See if anything opens up. And we have a treasure chest. But Mike can't do anything with the chest itself. You have to find switches for those too. And we get a new weapon, just called Fire. Basically looks like a torch. Hitting the select button, you can switch over to other weapons. Using this lets you launch a fireball straight forward. It's good for when you need range. However, you do have limited ammo. Suddenly, more frantic music. And snakes! These are called loopers. So a rather suspicious area over here. Lots of floor tiles, but they're not doing anything. Another button over there, and one here. Well, that opened the chest and we have more fire. That one, however, opened another passage for us. It's a secret room. And you get a potion here. To use potions, you have to pause the game, and then hit down to go to your magic items. Basically, you use this from the pause screen, and it will refill your life if you need it. Good to know. And another. Could the game really be so generous? No, it really couldn't. Don't go through that passage. You will regret it. So, just to satisfy everyone's curiosity, because I know people are going to ask, what happens if you do use this passage? Don't say I didn't warn you. Right, so what we're actually going to do is go back the way we came. The game does love its little gotcha traps like that. I forgot it pulled one as early as the first dungeon. Kinda rude, really, but what are you gonna do? Just not go that way. And for those wondering if you can stock up, nope. Sometimes enemies will just outright drop hearts for you. It does beg the question, what's the point of the stars if enemies are just going to sometimes drop hearts? Oh well. And now the first boss, Sea Serpent. As in letter C, Serpent. 'Cause it's Sea Island, you see. The easiest way to take this guy down is with fire. When all else fails, use fire. Wait for it to open its mouth and then shoot. Just be ready to jump to the sides. If you run out of fire, you can actually jump up to the front and use the yo-yo, but it becomes a lot riskier at that point. Sometimes it can fake you out and not shoot, but really, just take your time. There's no reason not to. Come on, open up. Take your medicine. Fire's good for you. I'm almost sure. Also, there's no real reason to worry about running out of ammo. At least in the context of trying to save it for a later dungeon. You don't really get to take anything with you out of the dungeon. But with that, the sea serpent is down. And, well, that's kind of gruesome. And the first dungeon is complete. Wow, you've done it! And you get points. The scoring system in this game is kinda weird. It isn't based on how long you took to get through the dungeon, any items you took with you, any damage you took, anything like that. It's based entirely on how many enemies you killed. And you actually lose points if you kill more enemies. Yeah, it's very strange. So, what do the points do, you might ask? Welcome to Startropics, where everything's made up and the points don't matter. Yes, just like the lives of cute space animals to Super Metroid speedrunners, the points mean absolutely nothing. You monsters. But, yeah, the points are just an arbitrary number. They're not experience, nothing. It's a weird scoring system, and there's literally no point to it. Just bragging rights, I suppose. So people have done things like attack runs to see how low of a score they can get, or pacifist runs to see how high of a score they can get, but it doesn't help you at all in the game itself. Just making sure there's nothing over here. I don't think there is in Chapter 1. Hi, I'm Babu, Dr. J's assistant. Mike, you know Dr. J has a submarine called Subsea. The ID code to start the engine of Subsea is 1492. Memorize the ID code. Please get on board Subsea in the laboratory. I wish I could tell you more, but I'm afraid of what? You're not gonna tell us anymore? Okay. Just going to be mystery and intrigue, I suppose. In the cockpit of Subsea. Welcome on board. I'm the navigational computer of Subsea. Call me Navcom. And totally not Rob. Really, I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm not Rob. Input the ID code now. ID code 1492. Start engine. Aye aye, Captain. Subsea is ready to launch. All ahead full. A warm send-off. And that's the end of Chapter 1. Dolphins. After a few hours' voyage, Subsea is still cruising on the ocean. But this is where we're going to call it for now, so thank you very much for watching. I hope you're enjoying the series so far, and I shall see you again next time. Until then, fare thee well. I would have loved to have heard a lot of this music in Smash. It would have been nice.